Hi, this is Lisa Jahn-Clough. I'm going to read to you a story from my collection called The Kids of CattyWumpus Street. This is a collection of 11 stories about 11 kids, and they all live on Cattywampus Street. And this story is story number 8. It's called The Loveliest Song, and it is the story of Ameera. Ameera lived on a farm with a dog, cat, parrot, 1 horse, 2 cows, 3 pigs, 4 goats, and a lot of chickens. Oh, yes, and her much older sister lived there too. Her sister often took care of Ameera because years ago, when Ameera was a baby, she and Big Sister had lived in a top floor apartment in town with their family, but sadly, their parents died in an unfortunate elevator accident. And after that, Ameera and Big Sister moved to the farm. Together, they did all the chores. They cleaned the house, they cooked the meals, they tended the garden, and they fed all of the animals. Their farm was on the top of a steep hill at the end of Cattywampus Street, way past the Wattleby toy store. Everyone thought the toy store was the end of the street, but it was only the end of the paved part. The dirt path was so steep and bumpy that no cars or buses could get up it, so Ameera had to walk to school and back, which took an hour each way. One time, Ameera skipped down the path, feeling cheerful because it was a cheerful kind of morning. As she passed the toy store, she began to sing. This is what she sang. La 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 la, what a little song I sing. La 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 la, a pretty little song fit for a king. La 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 la. When Ameera got to school, she went straight to her classroom, sat in her chair in the back, and kept singing. Mr. Belloc told her to be quiet and listen to the lesson, so she stopped for 1 minute, but then she started again very softly so no one could hear. Ameera sang quietly all through science, all through math, and all through history. During story time, Mr. Belloc read a fairy tale about a king in a magic kingdom who needed to have the field plowed in order to do the planting. The king announced a contest to see who could plow the field the fastest. Whoever won would marry the princess and live in the kingdom. There were 3 brothers who tried. The first 2 were selfish and greedy, and they failed. The third brother was clever and kind, so naturally he won, married the princess, and lived happily ever after in the magic kingdom. Ameera stopped singing to listen to the story. She thought, I bet I could plow that field even faster than those 3 boys. But what if I don't want to marry anyone? What would I get for a prize? What do you think Ameera would want for a prize? Well, I will tell you. She would want to live in the kingdom with Big Sister, the dog, cat, parrot, and all the other animals, of course. What a life they would have, strolling in fragrant flower gardens and fancy feasts every day. Ameera would sing to her heart's content, and no one would ever tell her to stop and listen to a lesson. They would never have to do another chore ever again. Everything would be done magically for them. After story time, Ameera's class went outside for recess. Ameera started singing again, this time loud enough so that the other kids could hear. They all gathered round, and when she was done, they clapped. What a beautiful voice you have, Jamal said. What a pretty song you sing, Charlotta said. So elegant, said Ursula. So cheerful, Evelyn said. And so comforting, Rodney said. You're so talented, said Emmett. I want to be a famous singer, Linda Lee said. Me too, Hans agreed. Chee, 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 Mateo said. Ribbit, ribbit, Bob said. They begged Ameera to sing another song, and so she did. There were no words in this song, but it was even lovelier, full of la, la, las, and da, da, das, and dum-de-dums. After school, Ameera sang all the way home. When she got home, Big Sister was on the roof with a hammer and nails, and she was not happy. You see, while Ameera had been in school, a tornado had blown the roof right off of the house. "Stop that singing and help me nail these shingles back on," Big Sister shouted. "The roof won't get fixed by magic." Ameera tried to stop singing, but lo and behold, she couldn't. The singing kept pouring out of her. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, do-de-dum-de-do-de-do, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. "Stop it!" Big Sister shouted. Ameera tried to shut her mouth tight, but it stayed open, and the la-la-las kept coming and coming. Ameera went to the barn to get another ladder, singing all the way. The dog followed her. First the dog was barking, woof, woof, but then a funny thing happened. The barking turned into singing, woof, la, la, la. Ameera got a hammer. The cat followed her behind the dog. The cat meowed, meow, meow, but guess what? The cat's meow soon turned into singing, mew, la, la. And then Ameera got a box of nails, and the parrot came flying after her behind the cat and the dog. The parrot was chirping, tweet, tweet, but you guessed it, soon the parrot's tweets turned into tweet, la, 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 la. So now there was a chorus, Ameera, the dog, the cat, and the parrot, all singing la, 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 la. Then along came the one horse, the two cows, the three pigs, the four goats, and the chickens. They all joined in the chorus of la la la's. It was quite the racket. Ameera climbed up the ladder with the hammer and the nails to join Big Sister. She sang the whole time while the animals sang below. Do you think Big Sister was still angry? Do you think that they fixed the roof? Do you think they ended up living in a magic kingdom like in that fairy tale? Do you think Ameera ever stopped singing? Well, I will tell you. Big Sister was no longer angry when she heard Amelia, the dog, the cat, the parrot, the horse, the cows, the sheep, the goats, and chickens all singing, and such a pretty song it was. She burst out laughing. It was so funny to hear all those animals sing la 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 and dum de dum, and then Big Sister started singing too. La 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 la. They did indeed fix the roof, because even though Ameera and everyone was singing, it didn't mean she couldn't also climb a ladder and hammer nails. They did not end up living in a magic kingdom. That only happens in fairy tales, and this is not a fairy tale. And as far as that last question, did Ameera ever stop singing? What do you think? Well, from then on, she sang all the time. Whenever she was home, the animals sang with her. Big Sister sang sometimes. When Ameera was in school, she sang very quietly so that the teacher wouldn't get mad and so she could learn some things. She liked singing, and maybe someday Ameera will become very famous and you will get to hear her. You never can tell. La 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 la. The end. Tune in next time for another story from the Kids of Cattywampus Street. Bye-bye.